So here I am back once more. So now the game is in English. We have only lost the drivers loading to Q2. And finally the game is in English. We have 13 spectators. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions about the league or anything else, you can write it down in the chat. I'll answer to everything you want. So we are on board with Nicholas Boita, who is on his outlap. So let's put everything back on. So let's stay on board with this push lap of Nicholas Boita in the Alpine. Maybe also putting the telemetry on. So we've seen drivers going down the 19th second here in the first sector. Let's see what Nicholas does. It's 89, so it's a very good first sector from him. At least better than we have seen before from him. Now he goes into the tunnel. When it touches a little bit of the wall, going on the exit of 13, and then here heading into the last corner, and it's not gonna be a competitive lap time from Nicholas, at least not for the very top position. It's a was this car on the wrong way? It was Tibram. So Nicholas has done a 112.5, G-Rocco just behind him with a 112.6 on the medium tires. Maybe he wants to qualifying on this set. Interesting choice. Resta Ravillo, fastest overall 111.9 on the medium as well. So the strategy might be to start on the medium to get the medium hard and do only a one stopper. It doesn't seem like many people want to qualifying on the soft tires, so Truckster put himself P4 on the medium, and so does Warren. So everyone has choose the medium tires. Let's put tires on. So, oh, Nicholas is on the soft actually. So not the very best lap from him. Tibran is also on the softs, and he's starting his push lap right now. I need a lap of his life to get to Q3. He was right in the edge in Q1, so we will see he's on 19.4. Going to the first sector, touching a little bit of the wall, taking a too much tight line. Meanwhile, Dershard goes faster, 111.4, but on the soft tires. 2 laps, all soft tires, so I think he's gonna come back on the track and go through a better set on to start on. While Tibern is having a very tight middle sector. Maybe he's gonna have what he needs. Simoped's 110.5 on the soft tires. Nicely done from the Mercedes driver. Also the third sector looks fine for Tibran, who is gonna qualifying In P9 with a 1:13.0, many drivers still need to set the time on the board. Also some fast drivers, such as Mr. Dibro, Eisenberg, also Vumax and Marcy might be in contention to get under the 1:13. So we will see if he's gonna need another lap. Surely Warren needs another lap because he's on the mediums, but he's on the verge of being eliminated from Q2. Let's stay on board with D-Power. That's just started this lap. He's also on the medium tires. Some drivers may say to themselves that it's better to qualifying on the mediums outside of the top 10 than qualifying on the softs inside the top 10, but D-Power goes purple in the first sector. NBC Mopeds had a really bad first sector to set then a 110.5. Down the tunnel he goes. The drivers here doesn't even use 8th gear. That's incredible. Sorry, no, it doesn't. So heading into the final corner once more. Such an hard corner here, this one. You don't want to brake too much to lose speed, but you also need to reduce it in order to make the corner. D-Power goes 10th with a 1:13.2, and I think he's going for another lap. But let's switch with Barks, who is on the soft tires, but has just set his lap with a 1:12.0 in P5. Nicely done from the Alpine driver. Tibran is starting his lap, I guess. Let's see Nicholas. Who is about to start his lap on these soft tires. Let's see what he's gonna have. It's a very good first corner, to be fair, carrying a lot of speed. Let's see this sweeping corner to the left. Ooh, and almost losing the car, carrying too much speed, and so he's gonna need to abort this lap once again. It was already the second time. So let's stay on board. D-Power managed to improve just a little bit. 112.9 is gonna try again. Maybe is not. Is 2/10 down. So I don't think he's trying for... Maybe he is, but it's the third consecutive push lap. I don't think that the tires are gonna give him the best they can at the moment. But as I was saying, he might prefer to qualifying on these mediums rather than qualifying on the softs inside the top 10. Okay, now he's surely aborting his lap. Let's stay on board with Eisenberg, who is on a out lap, or he has aborted his very first push lap on these mediums. So in the end, the most of the grid will start on the softs. Only Jules on the top drivers has decided to stop on the mediums. Ooh, and look who is in the elimination zone. It's Trackster in the Mercedes. He's surely not having a very good lap at the moment, also because sorry, actually he's having a very good lap. I miscalculated the time. He also set the fastest lap middle sector, and is a 1:11.5, so it was definitely a good lap, silly me. 1 10 behind Dirt Shark, who is in P2, and still the only drivers was got down 1:11 is Simopets on a 1:10.5. Let's see if Vumax can put himself in a better position, but everyone is in the pit at the moment. Let's see Warren completing his lap, and it's P9 for the McLaren drivers, 1:12.3, and it's safe but not by much, and it's gonna be a really big shootout among Nicolas Boita, Girocco, De Power, also Eisenberg, and I have to say Mr. Debra, because he's the driver championship, the drivers was first in the championship at the moment, so we have to see if he's gonna be eliminated. It's gonna be such a news and such important. That's why I love this league. Both Division 1 and Division 2 are so unpredictable. Any drivers can win, surely. When Marcy was about to invalidate his lap, his last push lap, ooh, and this, no, maybe he's gonna have another opportunity. He completely missed the braking zone, and Girocco is now the one who is gonna set the fastest middle sector, as you saw in the minimap, but going really wide here, so he might have lost all the time he managed to gain, but he goes P5, 1:11.8, so very well done from Girocco, who's put himself out of the elimination zone, and now is Nicolas Boita, the first driver eliminated, and he's starting his lap right now, so we really want to stay on board with him. And look what he's gonna do. Is he gonna get eliminated? So let's see his first sector. He's not doing the mistake that he did before, but he's not carrying quite enough speed. He's at 18.1, so he's down a tenth and a half. Taking quite a nice second sector. The moment Reels putting himself on the left hand side. Let's see Nicolas on this chicane. He doesn't want to commit himself in order not to invalidate his lap, almost touching the wall, but he's not having the best sector. And in fact, his lap gets invalidated, and Nicolas is out of Q2. The driver who was third in the Drivers' Championship is now out of Q2. And now we're gonna wait for Eisenberg, who has invalidated his lap as well, so he's also out of Q2. Trackster goes P3, was also already P3. Ooh, Vumax putting the retro also, and he retires from the session, so he's also out. And Tibran got himself out of the elimination zone with a 1:12.1, and so now he is in Q3 unless Marcy can improve by a second and a half. We will see from his partial in the second sector. But Ferrari in P14 and 15, Marcy is not improving at all, so it's confirmed that the 5 eliminated drivers from this Q2 are Vumax, Warren, Nicholas, Eisenberg and Marcy. So Tibran will also still need to count his 5 grid penalty, 5 position grid penalty, so we will see where he's gonna end up. He's just 1/10 away of Barks in P9 and 2/10 from Di Pava and Reels Terravillo as well. Fun fact, Simopets and Reels Terravillo, before racing both in the same league today, they raced also in another league where I was driving as well, and Simopets was winning also that championship. And me and Reels, to be fair, were neck and neck every race. So he's surely improved. The drivers were gonna have a shootout for the pole position in Q3 are Simopets, The Shark, Trackster, Mr. Debro, Jules, Giraco, Ritz Taravillo, Di Paver, Barks and Tibran. The 5 drivers who got eliminated are Vumax, Warren, Nicholas, Eisenberg and Marcy, both on the Ferraris. So Tibran in the Lamborghini is showing some really good pace. He was on the verge of getting eliminated in both Q1 and Q2, but managed to get to Q3 here in Monaco. It's very important to get a very good spot in the position, and even more important is to get a clean start. And now we are heading into Q3. So no one is heading out at the moment, no one is leaving the pit. Calculating how many sets of softs they have and how many push lap they can do. The first drivers to leave the pit is Jules in the McLaren. Let's watch from the broadcast view, not my view, but from the television perspective. It's so lovely to see an F1 car here in Monaco, even if again it's not his natural habitat for these really wide F1 cars. I wonder if in the future we will have smaller F1 cars to provide us so much more good racing, at least here in Monaco. So let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship while Jules complete his outlap. Mr. Debro is leading with 61 points, Jules with 53 in the McLaren, Nicholas with 48, Dirt Shark with 41, and as well 41 Barks, and just 1 point behind Warren with 40, Vumax with 38, Vumax with 39 and Trackster with 38. But let's jump on board with Jules and let's stay on board with the McLaren driver and see what he can do. It's 19, I guess you say ish, 19.000 for Jules. Correct me in the chat if I say that wrong. Heading into the tunnel, not the very best first sector we've seen so far. We'll see, second sector looks fine. Also not carrying so much speed, a little tap on the brakes, so this is surely won't be the pole position, but he may be a good banker for him. Let's see. It's gonna be around the 112. Oh, it's a 111.7 actually. I thought it might have an higher one. T-Brown is on the mediums, maybe use too many set of softs, and is now gonna try to qualify on the, or at least start the first push lap on the medium. Rails completing his lap, goes, oh, it was just another out lap, so he did 2 out laps. So now he started his very first push lap. Rails got 14 points out of last race. That was his very first race. Push purple first sector by going really deep in the braking zone. So he surely lost the time he managed to gain on Jules. A bit of a difficult exit from rails. Ooh, and he clinch the back of the barriers, and he will not have damage to his car, but surely be very much frustrated with himself. I think it was the second lap in a row that he aborted because he was pushing really hard. Also, Simopet's got his lap invalidated as well, so he's surely gonna try to do another push lap. So let's stay on board with him and see where he's gaining 6 tenths on the other drivers, setting a 1:10.5. So third gear for the first corner. Carrying so much speed here and quite a tight line, and it's a 18.5 in the first sector, while G-Rocco goes fast overall with a 1:11.3, but we need to wait for this man. Also Barks P3 1:13.2, still a nice time, but still P3. Trackster put himself in P3 now with a 1:12.3. So let's see, Simopaz heading into the chicane. Fantastic, fabulous done from him. Ooh, almost destroying his car into the barriers. Amazing, it's just so beautiful to watch him drive. And he clinches a little bit of the wall, but it will not affect you much because it's a 1:10.1, 1.2 seconds clear of G-Rocco. One needs to try his best to reduce this gap. Let's watch Dershak, who is on a lap. I think he's set on 18.8, if I saw that correctly, in the very first sector. So he might challenge Rocco for P2 at the moment. Let's see, second sector is a 15.2.8. I don't remember how much G-Rocco did, so let's see him accelerating to the line, and it's 1:11.2, so less than a tenth of a second ahead of G-Rocco. So it's a very good lap from the Red Bull drivers. Let's stay on board with D-Pava, who has aborted this lap, and is gonna try to get a push lap once more. So let's stay on board with him. T-Burn and Mr. Dibra haven't set a lap yet, but T-Burn is on track and Mr. Dibra is on his out lap. So let's see the power. 19.2 in the very first sector. Not enough to challenge the drivers in the top 4 at the moment. T-Burn goes 7 with a 112.6. Very well done from him. T-Burn is in the Lamborghini team. Bringing a little bit too much here for the power in this beautiful looking Aston Martin. 53.7 in the second sector, so I guess 1 second behind Dirt Shark, if I remember correctly. So let's see where he's gonna end up. It's P7, 112.6. Just about in front of T-Burn, 6 milliseconds. Let's go on board with Mr. Debro, who is on his push lap. He may be his only push lap. 19.3 for the drivers, with the lead in the championship. Not a very competitive first sector. Maybe Monaco is not his track. And in fact he aborted immediately. I let the powers go and rails go, who is on his outlap as well. Let's see who is behind him. Is Trackster, who is on his outlap. Simopet still in the pit. Dirt Shark, I think he might start this push lap. Maybe say, let's see what tires is he on. He's on old softs, so I don't understand why he's lapping around. Letting G-Rocco goes, who is not improving by tenths of a second his push lap. So let's see him carrying too much speed for the first gear. Wide line to carry most speed here in the tunnel. Oh, and he has invalidated his lap going into the chicane, so he may be qualifying over for the ass of Giraco. We will see. If he has enough fuel, then he might go again. Let's stay on board with Real Starvio, who is on the infamous chicane where he spun before. And he's doing this third sector to perfection. Mr. Dubra let him go. So let's see where Reels is gonna put himself. It's gonna be a 111.0 on the front row. Just 16 milliseconds out of Dirt Shark, who is in the pit, and Simopets won't come out. So he started his lap on this brand new set of softs and decides it was enough. So Dirt Shark won't come out once again, so he watched Reels snatching P2 from his nose. Giraco is not improving. Jules is in the pit. T-Burn is in the pit. Trackster is not improving by 0.2 of a second. We're only waiting for Trackster and Barks. Where is Barks? Barks is just behind him. Let's stay on board with Alpine driver. 5 line here, not carrying quite enough speed that he wanted. He doesn't have also a lot of battery, so I think this might be his third push lap in a row. So we will see. Not the very best chicane. Let's see if Trackster is not improving. Barks, I don't think as well. So in fact he's shot his front wing into the wall. a little bit of frustration because I think he did a better lap in Q2 but didn't manage to put a lap together in Q3, but the race is long and there is time to recover. Now the most important part of this race will be surely the start, and we're waiting for Barks to retire, are heading to the race. We have 15 drivers watching. Thank you so much for tuning in to this no assist leg. These are the 10 drivers who qualified in Q3. Simopets is on pole for this Monaco Grand Prix. Alongside him, Rails Terravillo on just in his second race in this league. Second row for Dirt Shark and G Rocco. Third row for Jules and Tibran. All British flags here for Trackster, Deep Hover, Bars, and completing the top 10, the championship leader, Mr. Debro. So now let's wait. Let's just wait for this magical moment, the start. Of the Monaco Grand Prix. So the drivers, as always, are adjusting their setup, choosing how much fuel they want to fill in their car, and also having a look at the strategies that the games advise. We will see also what strategy are supposed to be the best when the formation lap starts. I got some notification on Discord. Let's see. Simopets looks didn't even notice I crashed. Oh, maybe he did not retire in the pit. He retired because he crashed. I lost it. We were too focused on the others fighting for the front row, P2, P3, and P4. The top rows, I would say, for Monaco. So the Mercedes is leading the way. Predicted pit stop strategy here on screen: soft to medium and soft to hard. So it says it's a one stopper. We will see. The tire wear is such a thing here on this track, also with just a tiny bit of tire wear, then it really get bad, really bad, and you may lose the car in places that you don't want to do. So Simopets was done only one race, as well as Rails was the round five that were the 5 lappers, are both respectively in P17 and P18. Simopets with a win will get to P13, overtaking Clay, Deep Power, Get the Money on Run, and Moment. Well, Reels, if he managed to consolidate it, his second place from the start, will jump just behind Simopes, follow him around. But let's focus on the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. There are 78 laps to come, and let's try to have a clear look to the first corner while we're waiting for every driver to put themselves on the grid. We're waiting for the last 4 guys, and then we're gonna wait for the green flag, and then finally the 5 lights. So every driver is on his spot on the grid, maximum focus now. The green flag has been shown. It's 3 light, 4 light, 5 light, and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's see. Simobet's got a really good start. Let's see if Dirtshark can challenge Dirtsarvia going to turn 1. No, it's not. G-Rocco may have a chance to fight Dirtshark, but decides to back out of it. There's a plenty of fight here. Going this sweeping corner is the McLaren. It was that Jules. It wasn't. He managed to clinch P5. Everything clear at the moment. Let's put change of position change. No one got an incident. I'm so proud of these guys that didn't crash to each other. When there's a fight here, the T-Brown, I think, was trying to overtaking Moomin at the airpin. So everyone just wins or lost, win or lost 1 or 2 places. So everything clear at the moment. Simopets is already flying away of Sarvia 1.2 seconds. This is a race where you want to be consistent. The consistency here is the key that will make you win this race. But I'm so proud that no one shunted in the wall, no one of this guy. And now it's gonna be a very psychological race. Went to another movement, goes into the pit, so he might have collected some damage. Zabijaka, amazing start from P20 up to 16 on the grid, while Moomin from P15 down to P20. So Deep Power and Truckster has swapped places. Barks has lost 2 places sadly at the start from P8 down to 10. Mr. Debra and Vumax gain respectively 1 places. So not a very good start off the line for the Alpine. The other Alpine, Nicolas Boyta, the driver who is P3 in the championship, is in P12. He didn't gain or lose any position. Zabijaka got the best start out of the field. Let's switch to the tires. Simopets 1:13.4. It's already hammer time for the Mercedes drivers. Let's stay on board with him. Dirtshark is 6/10 behind Rails with on a medium, and this is completely helping the Mercedes drivers because he's slowing down Dirtshark and all the pack behind, while Jules on the mediums look really on the verge on getting someone else. Oh, and Potro has lost the car going into turn 1 and lost some very important places. Let's see. I'm sure he gained like 2 or 3 places, and now he has lost them from Clay Snagglesus. So as I was saying, Dirtshark is desperate to try and overtake Reels as soon as he can, because Simobet is flying away and he doesn't want to let him have a clean 2 race wins in a row. And Jules and Spun in the 3rd sector, and he has to wait from everybody else to let him go, and now he has a clean space. Maybe he damaged his back wing, and now needs to let Snagglesus pass. And Jules has been disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous place, and Jules, the drivers, was 2nd in the drivers championship and has been disqualified from this session. What an amazing turnout So Jules was on the medium in P6 looking, in P5 looking so good at the back of Giraco, and then he lost the car in the third sector and had to let everyone goes, not to compromise the races of the others, and he got disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous way. Potter, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think we're gonna see many of these penalties because drivers will get so frustrated, and also the tire wear will play its role, surely. Dirtshark has the size to backside a little bit from rails on the medium, and he's now 1.4 seconds behind him. He's biding his time. He's also thinking about the strategy that he may want to do, if a soft to medium of a soft to hard, while rails doesn't really have an option. I think medium softs might be the best way for him, or maybe also medium to hard if the tire fades way too quickly here in Monte Carlo. So the top drivers are really driving so well in a very good pace, also for being an 100% race. They don't want to let the drivers disappear from their vision, also because it's important to have someone in front that sprung you. When Vumax is in the pit, he had the medium tires on, so he's surely collected some damage. Let's see if he's gonna change the front wing, and in fact he is. So Barks, is now back from the position where he started, while Zabijaka is now up to P13 from P20 in a matter of 6 laps. He has gained 7 places. Very well done from the Alfa Romeo drivers. Barks, who has clean air in front, but as Warren, who is pressurizing with the mediums, and he will try to get an overtake going on, but the dirty air in this game is so high, and I wonder how bad it is on this track particularly. So it's gonna be hard for Warren even to stay behind Barks and following around, but the medium tires will surely help him. We are already in lap 7 of this race. Simopets is leading the way. Potro, 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. Here he is, Potro, who has already 8 seconds of penalty with 7 laps on the board. Maybe Simopets has already lapped him. Let's see where he is. Is here, but no, he hasn't already lapped him. No, actually it is, because Mooman is crossing the line and Clay is here and is letting their shot go. And now we're gonna see soon Giraco passing Clay. Let's see. These drivers are so fair to each other. They really care about the show and also the racing. That's why this is a very friendly league. Simopets hammer timing the race. Let's see his laps. Is getting worse and worse. On 14 he's done only a 13 in the very second lap, and also in the 5th lap, so his pace is quite inconsistent from 13s to 15s. but he's having a really nice pace overall. And he's 8 seconds clear of Real Staravillo, but don't forget he's on the mediums, and sooner or later these mediums are gonna be better than the softs in a matter of 10 laps, I reckon, maybe even less. It's Monaco, nice league indeed, man. Also, both Division 1 and Division 2 drivers who respect each other, and that's one of the best thing you want to see, because first of all we're all part of a community, we're all friends racing to have fun. Then also there is a £500 bonus for the drivers who win the drivers championship, who is gently given by UKSS.com. Let's have a look at their website, our main sponsor for this league. So Wheels slowly is losing always every lap a little bit less, and in the very next few laps is surely gonna match Simopet's lap times, or even get him better and get him back at him. It's Mazurza. I'm so proud to be part of this competition as well. That's a really good feeling, good explanation, and also a good example for the drivers, for the spectators who are not part of this league. They can imagine the feeling that these drivers have while they're racing. So Reals is always on the 8.4, 8.5 gap, so the gap has been stabilized now. Actually Reals is gaining. Maybe Simopet has done a mistake up in front, and also these mediums are getting better already on lap 10. We are on lap 10 of 78, so only 1/8 of this race has been completed. But as I was saying, this is very a psychological race. The drivers are now still feeling good, surely. There is a yellow flag in sector 2, but everything is fine. We're gonna see some drivers making mistakes surely by the second half of this race. When there is a yellow flag, I wonder who it is. Nicholas locking up, but it is behind. Oh, it was Potro who was letting the other drivers past. As you can tell, Potro let Eisenberg go. Eisenberg on P15. Not a very best race for him so far. Yellow flag is sector 2 at 3. Is that actually Potro was gone into the pit and is discounting his 5-second time penalty. Let's get on board with D-Power, who is closing on G-Rocco while Dirtshark has started to lose so much ground on Real Staravillo. Bumax has overtaken Zabishaka. Wow, an overtake around Monaco. Maybe at the hairpin, maybe Zabishaka did a mistake or let him go. We will make them send us the clip. And Mars is really close to Tibran, who I think is lagging a bit. He managed to qualify P7 in Q3 after his 5 grid penalty. It's gone to P11, and from P11 to the pit. He's already switching his tires, maybe going into the hard. In fact, he is going to the hard tires and also changing his front wing. That's the main reason he pitted full. Let's go back to the power, who is the closest on track to another driver. Also, we need to keep an eye on Mr. Debra in Dragster, 12 seconds behind. The power is surely gonna try to stay as close as possible to Girocco for these moments where the driver in front makes a mistake. Potro F0 tires from the session is the second drivers who abandoned us, along with Jules, who was the first star of the field who got eliminated, sadly, because he was in a position that he couldn't move whatsoever, otherwise he will have compromised others' race, while Simopets got a 3-second time penalty. He's feeling the pressure because Real Cervillo in a matter of 3 laps has gained 1.3 seconds over him, and surely in the very next few laps he's gonna get even better and better for the Spaniard. A little bit of a lockup. Let's see how he gets to Sandevote with 7.3 seconds behind Simopez. I reckon the best sector for rails are surely the first and the second sectors, where they gain more. Oh, and Girocco has gone into the pit. Okay. I was thinking we have lost the power's overtake, but we didn't. Let's see, Girocco is changing his front wing as well. He is. So he's surely got some damage, while Mr. Dibber is having a look up the inside of Truckster in Sandevote, and also Zabishak and Eisenberg has come together. What has happened to them? Ooh, an incredible shunt between Eisenberg and Zabishak you have seen out of this chicane. The two of them came together, and now we have already 5 drivers who has retired from this race. One of them got disqualified, Jules, while the other 4 as DNF, Clay and Potro for choice, Eisenberg and Zabishaka because they've come together right in front of this chicane. Tell us what happened, Zabishaka, in the chat, please, because we didn't see what happened between you and Eisenberg. Also, clip that incident and send it on the Discord channel so that the students can have a look at that. And Rails has dropped the gap to 4.9 seconds, 4.8 at the moment. Girocco is DNF as well on the hard tires, brand new hard. Let's see if from Muma's perspective we can see what happened to him. Also Barks, I think he has lost the car. No, he's going into the pit. Okay, let's see if we can see what happened to Girocco, who was shunt into the wall after that fast corner. So Girocco is also out of the session on his brand new set of arts. After he pitted, he was in front of the power. So another driver who went into the pit is Barks, who is rejoined. I saw him in the pit lane, but the monitor says he still have 13 laps old softs. I wonder what happened. Warren has now left the session. Clay has left the sessions. I think something is... Ooh, Marcy is in a spun. Marcy has spun. 3-second time penalty for him. Let's see if he does have damage to the front wing. from the perspective. It doesn't seem like he has both. He has both end plates, so if he has a damage, it's a minor one. I swear I've seen Barks going into the pit lane. Then I saw Clay and Warren leaving the session, so maybe the lobby is laggy, but I want to wait some other laps before giving a communication to restart the session. Because everything works nicely till this lap 16, and I don't want to ruin the show. Maybe, let's see, is T-Bran with us, or it's not? It's Warren with us, or it's not? No, it's definitely the iRacing, so I will send an invite to Warren. Let me have a look at his name. Just give me a second to invite him. It doesn't allow me to do so. Warren, I can invite you. You can. I go to invite friends, but then it says an error has occurred. I can't invite you. Sorry, Warren. While Marcy is going into the pit, I let him go because this is Zobjaka talking. I let him go because I cut the corner, I lost control and crashed into me. Sasushi-man. Fun, boys, let's go, Barks. Let's go. Ooh, and there's a fight between Nicholas and Moomin. Let's stay on board with Barks. While Dirtshark and D-Powers are going into the pit, Dirtshark is leaving the pit. D-Power has just joined and also changing the front wing. Let me see if I can invite Warren this time, but still the error. So I can invite him, sadly. I don't know what happened. Zabijaka, can you please invite Warren to the session? In order to make him join back. If you're still in the lobby, please invite Warren back. Ooh, Reels has come closer and closer to Simopets. Now he's only half a second, while while T-Burn is going into the pit after he's put a brand new set of R's. So the strategy is paying off for Reels. While Simopets on these softs is losing so much time to the Aston Martin. Now Reels needs to find a gap to overtake the Mercedes. Barks little hood 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Multiple warning. So he's still in P8 but in a net P9 behind his teammate Nicholas Boyton, who doesn't have a penalty yet. We are almost on lap 20 of 78. The sky is getting dark over the real life, while here the weather looks fine. Snaggletooth have returned from the session. Zabijaka, did you manage to invite Warren to the session? Well, Reels is losing some ground and is gaining back, so he needs to wait for a Simopet's mistake. Zabishaka has left the session. Perfect. So now we can invite. Oh, actually, Warren, you can use the invite that Bark sent at the very beginning on the chat of Division 1. You can use that as you did before. You don't need another invite. So you can join from that one. Let's see if you manage to join. This is surely the AI driving. You can tell by the driving style, which is smooth but not fast as Warren. Now Rails is looking like he's having some tire wear problem too, because Warren, you need to go to messages, not to party, and then scroll up the chat and look for the invite. Rail serves really close to Simopets this time, but it's not enough. Nicholas, did Barks let him go? Probably. These soft runners are having so much problem with the tire wear at the moment. They might want to change them as soon as they can. Let's see if Barks is gonna go into the pit. It's not. Nicholas has come to Warren, who got lapped. Dragster is still 1.7. Ooh, and Simopets, brave decision. He goes for a nose change, for a tire change. So he switched to the mediums. Are the mediums gonna be enough to make this race a one-stopper? I wonder, because I think you can do around 30 to 40 laps, but you can't do more than 50 laps. Nicholas Boita, I have the mediums on. You have the softs on my screen. Do you have the softs? I don't think you have the medium. Let's see if you have a stop. Yes, you have. You have one stop. The game is bugged. Are you seeing yourself with the mediums or with the softs? Because otherwise I will need to say to restart the session in case the lobby is too bad. T-Burn has retired from the session. T-Burn into the wall. Let's see, Warren didn't manage to get back. So I am thinking to say to restart the session, because the lobby, it's a little bit too bagged for what I'm seeing. Also, we have seen not only Nicholas into the pit. Let's see, stops. Everyone, unless Mr. Debron rules, has stopped. Please, Nicholas, did you put a set of mediums or did you put a set of softs in your screen? Do you see mediums on or softs on? Please respond if you can. That will really help me. and in case I'll decide whether to say to restart the lobby or not. You put mediums, and do you see yourself with mediums on or softs on? You see mediums. Okay, so I'm gonna tell the rest of the field to restart the lobby because it's way too bug. I don't know if the other drivers are seeing tires there. I don't. So you just, I'm sorry for this inconvenience once more, but the lobby let's see what the drivers are gonna do. I was told to restart the session. Let's see what is gonna happen. They might even completely bottle my messages and go for their own race. I want to watch Barks because and he seemed to continue racing, so I guess we'll have to stick with the buggy session. That's quite of a shame because okay. Okay, Barks has answered that. Barks has a new 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So let's watch back the broadcast. Ooh, because we have just seen Vumax going deep and doing what is known as a Rosberg. Going too wide. Yeah, Barks has confirmed that we will not restart the session because it's too late. We're on lap 28 of 78. Because I didn't know of this glitch before Nicholas told me, so I'm not seeing the tires that he has. We might not see tires that other drivers has. So we will not actually know what tires are the drivers on. We can imagine them, like maybe Simopeds is on arts and not mediums, and so he might go to the end. And surely not, because now yes, his front wing is damaged and is also lagging. So maybe he didn't really hit the wall on the exit. Let's stay on board with the driver who is leading the race so far, Rilstar Vigo, who hasn't stopped yet, and his strategy seems to pay off. Is gonna be a really important mark, because it's gonna tell us how many laps the mediums can do. Now Simopeds slips down to P8 and back to P2. So the session is now starting to go a little bit mad. A little bit more than we wanted. Add 3-second time penalty for Simopeds. Is now have 6, while Reels doesn't have any. So Rails is maintaining the pressure better than Simopeds is doing at the moment. Let's move back to the tire. Shark running with arts on is already done his first stop, but I don't think he's gonna end this race with his compound. There are too many laps to go. So I'll turn lights on in my house. Just give me a second, because it's really getting dark. Here is 7:40 p.m. So let's do a recap of the standings so far, so that we can understand better what is happening. Let's put the position change. So Rails at the moment has gained a place in Simopeds, who has lost it, but Rails is yet to stop, and Simopeds is gaining so much time on it. But we need to understand if Simopeds is on mediums or ours, because we know for a fact that the graphic is wrong, because we see Nicholas on softs, but he told me in the chat stream that he put mediums and he see mediums on his screen. So Simopeds might have hards on and try to go to the end of this race. Then we have Tershart started third, now third, with a very big space in front and behind. He has 22 seconds from the car ahead and 29 seconds from the car behind, so he's chilling in P3, and unless he does a mistake or the drivers in front does a mistake, he will have quite an easy P3. Then we have D-Power, who is doing a really great and consistent race. He's on arts from what we can see, and is in P4 at the moment, 30 seconds behind Shark and 10 seconds ahead of Vumax. As well from him, if he doesn't a mistake, then he's sure to get to the P4. Behind him we have Vumax, who is doing an incredible race, but he's shown with soft tires. So for what we can see, he will not end the race on this compound, And also Mr. Dibro is pressurizing him 7/10 of a second behind on mediums, and he might have an opportunity going down this tunnel, so let's stay on board with him. Vumax goes defensive. Mr. Dibro turns on the DRS and the overtake. No, sorry, DRS doesn't belong in this part of the track. I invented it. So Vumax goes defensive even here. Mr. Dibro tries to go around the outside. Vumax breaks so much and let Mr. Dibro goes, and so Mr. Dibro, the driver, the leader, is now up into P5, overtaking Vumax. Behind we have Nicholas, who is in P6 and overtook Vumax as well because he went into the pit. Also Barks in P8 will overtake the Williams driver. Let's see, Trackster, the Mercedes drivers, will just about be in front of the William, and then there is a massive gap from Vumax to Muman, 40 seconds, and then in P11 Marcy and P12 Warren, but he is a ghost, and there's a yellow flag going in sector 1. Is that Vumax? Yeah, he is, because he's letting Dirt Shark go, so he has been lapped also from first to third, but the power behind him is very much alone at this moment with 30 seconds behind. And what happened to Mr. Dibro was just overtook Vumax on track, and now he's hunting down the Aston Martin of the power. He's 13 seconds behind. So that's a recap, but let's also have a look at the standings so far after round 5. So we have Mr. Dibro who is first with 61 points, and on a 5th place he will get 11 points, so he will extend his lead from 8 points up to let's see, Nicholas will get 10, so he will gain 14 points lead on Nicholas Boita if the race ends in this way. Then we have Jules with 53, who got a disqualification this race, and so he will lose so many points, both from Mr. Dibro that to Nicholas Boita. Also Dershark, who is in P3, while we're watching Simopets lapping Mr. Dibro. We're on lap 35. So Dershark has 41 points, and with a comfortable P3 he will get 13 points, so up to 54, and overtaking Jules as well, where there is a change of the guard in P1 because Rails has lost the place on Simopets, but we didn't see a yellow flag turning on, so most likely Rails pitted, but the graphic is not telling us that he has pitted. We will see after a bit of laps, even if Rails is losing so much ground. So I wonder if he has done a mistake and we haven't seen him, but we didn't see any yellow flag, to be fair. But Rails is really losing so much time to Simopes. Over half a second every sector, so we need to keep an eye on that. I think they're still yet to pit, at least Simopets, who is, if it's not on our tires. Then let's have a look at the other standing. Barks also is with 41 points, and he will get 10 in P7. No, 9, sorry. So he will jump up to 50 points. Then we have Warren with 40, was I'd say retires from the race. This race, since he's not the one driving, is the AI who is driving. Then we have Vumex, who is in P10, so he will gain 6 points, because the points are awarded from the first who gets 15 points to the 15 drivers who get 1 point. So I think Warren won't get any points since the AI is driving. So Vumex will get 6 if the race ended in this way. The Hungarian drivers will go up to 45. Then Trackster will get 8 points and go up to 36, overtaking Vumex then by just 1 point, because at the moment the two drivers are separated by only 1 point, and they will swap places in the Drivers' Championship. And then we have the rest of the field with Eisenberg, Lostock, who is not participating, I think, anymore, or maybe Reels is just subbing him here at the Aston Martin. Reels has been overtaken also by Dirt Shark while we were talking about the settings, so but now he's shown with R-tires on, so I think he has gone into the pit and he lost so much time to Simopets, so probably he has done a mistake and Simopets swoops through. And now Reels really need to put his head down and try to overtake the Shark, or at least getting close to him, and try then to bring him up to speed and close the gap on the actual leader, Simopes. The closest battle on track at the moment is between Barks and his teammate ahead of him, Nicolas Boita, 1.6 seconds. When Barks almost shunting into the wall at Sandevot, losing almost 2 seconds. So 3.5 seconds is now the gap, while Reels doesn't look like doesn't look like it's gonna get to Dirt Shark anytime soon. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, but I think it's a lapped car. Is Vumex. Nicolas, 3-second time penalty. So let's have a look also at the penalty situation. Simopets got 6 seconds, Nicolas and Barks both got 6 seconds, Trackster and Marcy got 3. So Barks, if wants to overtake his teammate, he has to do it on track or hope for Nicholas to get other 3-second time penalty. Also, Mars is really close to Vumax, 6/10 of a second. And he's gonna try to get into the top 10. That will award him 6 points, while Barks gets the third 3-second time penalty. We are over the half of this race on lap 41 of 78. I think Reels has gave up. I think Trickster 3-second time penalty, or maybe, oh, you can tell Reels is coming. Repeat one more time because he has to change his front wing, so he's surely got damage. And now Simobets have a massive lead, and also the 3-second time penalty for him. But I don't think it'll be fine. Even if you stop once more, then it's gonna have a 20-second gap to the driver behind the Shark at the moment. And also the Shark needs to pit by the end of this race, because I don't think he can do other 36th lap on these hard tires and get a total of 60. I think that would be too much, even for the hard tires that on the last games were able to do any distance. Some drivers even may try to put the R's on the very first lap of a league race, 50%, and then finish the race on these R's, and sometimes it works actually. So it might happen. Maybe not in this league actually, because this is a 100% race format usually. And also let's have a look what we're gonna have next in the next race for round 7. So this is round 6 Monaco. We're gonna have round 7 will be Monza, Italy, with 18 minutes of qualifying, so short quali plus 100% race as always. Next week, same time zone and same commentator, hopefully, I think. While after this race we're gonna have the Division 2 that will do the same format as Division 1, so a full qualifying plus 100% race for qualifying with Q1, Q2 and Q3. Here's the yellow flag. The sector 2 is a Ferrari. It can be only Marcy, who is close to Vumax, and maybe Marcy was too close to the Williams drivers. There isn't any battle at the moment. Barks is closing in on his teammate. Barcy is within 7/10 of a second, but even if he sounds really low, that's too high. When Nicholas let Barks go, because He thinks his teammates has more pace, and also Nicholas has to go into the pit for a change of tires and also a change of nose, putting the mediums on for other 34 laps to do. That might be enough to do on these mediums. And also Barks need to stop once more. I think he can wait other 10 laps, 10 laps around and put a set of softs if he wants, or he's gonna stop a little bit earlier around lap 50 and then put on a new set of mediums to finish the race on. That will be the safer option, surely. So this race is all about consistency, as we were talking before, and you can tell from this race who are the most consistent drivers. Vumax there from the session. Ooh, what happened to him? Where is shunted? He's shunted. Let's see if we can catch it from their short perspective. I think. No, we are too late. Let's see if we can catch it from Nicholas' perspective. The car in the wall right here. Yeah. Yes, broke the suspension, lost the car, and now Vumax is another driver, the 9th drivers out of this race, where we have only 11 drivers running. If we can count Warren because the AI is driving, then there are only 10 that are Simopets who is leading this race. Their shark in P2, both Aston Martin P3 and P4, Saravillo and D-Pub, Mr. Debro in P5, the championship leader. Then we have Barks, Trackster in P6 and 7, Nicholas Boita, Mooman and Marcy in P8, 9 and 10. Let's stay on board with Barks at the moment, because he's showing some good laps in. I'm watching from the monitor, so he's the one I think who trains the most, or I think also the best, because you can train all the week for this race, but if you do it in the wrong way, then you might find yourself surprised or in a bad shape for the race itself on Sundays. You really want to test the strategy going into a race. You want to know what your goals are and what are your plan B and C. That's quite important to get also some reserves, some plan reserves, of course, because things can go wrong. Or as not expected, even in a positive way, not only in a bad way, such in Brazil. Ooh, and Trackster. Ooh, Trackster is in the wall, and is in the wall at the start of the tunnel. So at the very start, no, in the middle of the second sector, at the start of the straight. So he might have some wind damage. That's really so annoying. Ooh, and he's lost all the front wing, so he's surely gonna go into the pit, and that will help really Nicholas Boita, who needs to be safe and not shunt into Trackster, who is gonna really slow. In fact, Trackster moves to the right and let Nicholas pass. Also, Mooman is gonna jump Trackster. Very consistent race from Mooman, who is in P8, will be in P8 at the moment, while Mars is still in P10 on his Ferrari, 26 seconds behind. So Trackster 5-second time penalty for crossing the line on P entry. We have just seen that on board, and he returned back on track behind Mr. Debro, but is lapped. So Chuckster rejoin in P9 is surely gonna hand on this set of mediums, and he's gonna try to give his best to get to Moomin back, because if Moomin decides to go to the end of this race on the mediums, if he has mediums, I don't know, he might have ours, because we seen the lobby was buggy. Ooh, Moomin has surely lost some wing there, even if it was a minor damage. His wing surely got a little bit worse, and you can tell Traxxer is gaining, because he went from 18 seconds of gap to 12, but he also got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and Traxxer does have 14 seconds, so at the moment he's ahead of Marcy, even if he has this big amount. But he needs to get the movement, overtake him, and then open a window of 14 seconds if you want to stay ahead of the US driver. We'll also have a look. Let's have a look at Mr. Debra, who has got close to deep cover. Is within a second or so, 1.2 seconds. .5 second. Also, Deep Power has got close to his teammate, Reels Terravilla, who at the very first half of the race was looking on to in contention to win the race with Simopeds. Now Simopeds looks like the only drivers that really may try to win this race, and Dershark is in the pit and heading out of the pit, and just passing in front of him Nicolas Boita. So Dershark is now in P2. Let's see what the gap is from Simopeds. Is about 44 seconds. 44.3. Yeah. So Simopeds is 1 or even 2 pit stop clear of the Dragon in second place, but he's also have a 9 seconds penalty. So we will see. Let's have a look also. We got a fastest lap Simopeds 112.6. This is the gap from the leader. Only Mr. Debra, only the top 5 has not been lapped yet, but let's stay on board. Ooh, Reels, has he done a mistake? Yes, he has. Going to the hand of the first sector, he just lost the car. Does he have damage? Let's see. Yeah, no, maybe not. Maybe it's, if he has damage, it's quite a minor one, because the front wing looks good. So now Simopeds has lapped from P5 down all the grid to P11, since the other drivers are not racing because they have retires from the session. Jules got the squad. Ooh, and that trucks are compromising Simopeds. I know Simopeds doesn't have a lot to fight against, because their shark is 45 seconds, but that's also a bit of the wing of the Mercedes flying off from his own teammate, which tries to brake check him. Woman has lost. No, it was just the lobby lagging a bit. So let me put the tires component on. Simopets also change his tires. He may go another time into the pit to put the softs on, a compound of softs, and try to do even a more fastest lap to secure that additional point. Nicholas has overtook Barks because his teammate is in the pit and is joined with a brand new set of softs. Wise choice from the Alpine driver, who is crossing a little bit of the line. Luckily for him, he didn't got the 5 seconds for touching the white line. So Nicholas will surely hand this race on this compound, and so does Barks. But we have seen Barks has more space than Nicholas, and we have seen it also in not only in this race but in general as well. Simopet's changing another time his tires, but that was not a wise option because Simopets has now put an old set of mediums of 28 laps, so very old mediums, and he's gonna need to stop once again, and now the gap between him and Dershak will fly off after this pit stop, I think, at least. Let's see. Yeah, in fact he's around 15 seconds now, and Simopets need to pit once more because he can't finish the race on this medium, as Simopets lost all his advantage because he has put a set of old medium. That will be an incredible turnout. He can't finish the race on this set, and also Dershak is so much faster on this brand new set of mediums, so incredibly the race has unlight once more. The two of them are driving around the same pace, 15 seconds. I wonder if Dershak will ask information on the drivers and know that he's on a whole set of mediums. What is gonna be Simopet's choice? Is he gonna box another time, or is gonna try to squeeze this medium till the end? I don't think he can do it more. He can do 53 laps on this medium. He's surely gonna need to pit once more, but he's losing so much time to Dershak, who has dropped the gap to 14.5 seconds, and in my opinion Simopets will need to put the set of mediums he had back before this pit stop, that was two or 3 laps old, then regain the time on Dershak and try to overtake him and create a gap of 9 seconds, and that's really worked out so nicely for Dershak, who I told you was in a very good place to fight to secure P3, and now he's fighting for the win as well, while we're seeing Mr. Dibras fighting with D-Power. Is Mr. Dibra gonna have a look down inside the bow? Is not, but D-Power touches a little bit of the wall, get a bit of a sketchy exit, and incredibly this race has been come to life in the end of the stages, while a little bit of a touch between Mr. Dibra and D-Power. He doesn't want to lose any time whatsoever. He wants to be stuck with the drivers in front to try and have an occasion anytime that D-Power makes a mistake. Here we are in the tunnel. Let's see. And locking both tires, Mr. Dibra, because D-Power brakes so much earlier than him. So I think Simopets is trying to get these mediums to lap 58 and then going into the pit to put a set of softs, while D-Power decides he had enough on these arts of 36 laps and goes for I think a set of mediums. Maybe it's too early for a set of softs. In fact, he goes for the medium. So D-Power rejoined in P4 ahead of his teammates, who is on hard tarts. Rails had to put hards on because he started with mediums, and then I think he put mediums once more. And now D-Power is gaining all the time. He has loss. Is Mr. Dibber also not gonna hand this race on the medium? I think so. So D-Power is trying a bit of an undercut to scroll the Red Bull driver from his shoulder, while Mr. Dibber is surely gonna try to do an overcut and push as much as he can to rejoin ahead of the Aston Martin driver. And if I would be him, I would try everything to stay as long as he can. I try to stay as long as he can out, waiting for a deep of mistakes, while Dershark is going into the pit. He's lost all this front wing. Incredibly, Dershark was fighting for the win against Simopets, has lost all his front wing, and so now Simopets, with a bit of luck, will manage to cross the line first without any stress, unless he does mistakes eventually. Then it's gonna be another race in the race, because there are still 21 laps to go. So I'll have a sip of water right now. So just give me a second. So Simo is surely pushing to put a set of softs, so I might stretch these mediums till lap 35, till lap 60, sorry. So here I am back. Sorry for the little pause. I needed to take a little bit of a break and have a sip of water. So let's do once again a recap. At the moment, let's put change of position change. So Simopets is leading the race where he started. Behind him, Dershark, who had the opportunity to fight for the win, but then lost all this front wing, lost all the time that he managed to get after Simopet's mistake in the pit. And so now he's in P2, but Mr. Dibro, his teammate, is yet to pit, while D-Power has pitted, and Mr. Dibro is waiting hoping that D-Power will do a mistake in the near future, and even D-Power won't do a mistake, then Mr. Dibro will gain. fifth position from where it started, and that's very much a fantastic race for him here in Monaco. It's not so easy to gain all these positions in a very tough race like this one, and very close. Then we have rails in in rails and the power in P5 and 4. The two Aston Martin drivers. The power will get the podium unless of any kind of mistakes, and rails, I think, is trying to push to get the position on the Red Bull driver before his pit stop, but that will happen only if the Mr. Dibro will need to change his front wing, otherwise he will sit behind. Then we have Nicolas Boita in P6. Very roller coaster race from him, as always. Started 12, then almost got a look into the top 5 places, then dropped down once more, and now he's in P6 ahead of his teammates. Barks Little Hood, where not the best start, from P8 down to P10, then a really strong sorry. It's a long race also for me. Really strong. The word is not coming to me. Stint. There it is. A really good stint on the mediums before this one, and now he's 17 seconds behind his teammate and consolidating his P7 ahead of Marcy, who survived from all the chaos behind and went up to P8, starting P14, letting rails go. And then we have Bowman 7/10 of a second behind Marcy, and Chuckster in the Mercedes completing the top 10, and these three are fighting for 8th place. Interesting fight between the three of them, so let's stay on board with them. And then we have Warren, but it's the AI who is actually driving, so there is not so much to talk about him. He just disconnected, and I couldn't invite for I don't know what. The game didn't allow me to do that. Then we have Vumax, who was fighting for P5. Ooh, Woman tried to go around down inside of Marcy and managed to do so, and Marcy also lost the place on Truckster. So Woman I think he touched the back of the car of Marcy. That's what he make him lose some places. Now Movement goes defensive. Truckster tries to have a look around the outside, but nothing to be done here. I think we should see it from Movement perspective to see if he hit Marcy's car. And now Movement goes defensive. Truckster's trying to create a gap to overtake the Haas. Movement locks up. Truckster really gets a very good exit out of the chicane and gets past Movement. Amazing overtake from the Mercedes drivers. Now Movement is in some troubles, maybe because of his front wing damage, because now Marcy is coming at him, but has to let pass Nicholas. So let's see if Marcy gonna gain. His time is lost from Movement. Let him go. Ooh, Movement has gone into the pit, because yes, this is the confirmation that we were waiting for. That Movement hit Marcy going into turn 1 and lost his front wing. So we were talking about Vumax, who was in P5. or at least fighting for P5 with the power of Mr. Debro in the mix there, and then lost his car into the third sector. Then Tibran, I really don't know what happened to him. He just lost the car and shunted into the wall, sadly. Then Snagothus and Jiraco both retired, and the famous accident right here between Heisenberg and Zabijaka, where they all lost their car. And finally Clay, Pocho and Jules. Pocho retires very soon in the race on lap 3 in the pit, and then Jules, who retires, who got disqualified actually. In the very first lap, because Jules got disqualified in the very first lap because he lost the car in the third sector and he couldn't move, because otherwise he would have gone into an accident with the other drivers. So there are some chats between the Division 2 guys here in the PS chat. The race will start at 7:30. So after this race, stay on board and have a look at that. While Barks let the movement pass, who had lapped himself. So for this final lap, why don't we stay on board with Simopets, the leader. Let's also look at tires, and also fastest lap Simopets a set of 112.5, but I've seen up upper middle sector in the map, but he didn't manage to improve. Maybe not by much. Why don't we have a look at that? What was his final lap? It was a 1:14.4, so well behind his fastest lap overall, or the one of a 1:12.5, when he just got through the the McLaren of Warren, who is not driving. You can tell by the X on near his name, but is the AI after he lost connection. Nicholas going into the pit, strange decision, because now he lost the place on Barks. We need to see what his gap is. Okay, Nicholas does have 8.7 seconds from Barks. And if I remember correctly, they both have 9 seconds. So unless Barks gets a penalty, then Nicholas needs to overtake his teammates on track with 8 laps to the end. That's quite an hard challenge, to gain 8 seconds in 8 laps and then also overtake your teammate. Anyway, we are with 8 laps to go. Simopet has lapped everyone. Not sorry, not the top 5 drivers. So the 2 Red Bull and 2 Aston Martin, but Rails is close to be the first one, and he is. He get lapped by Simopets. Many drivers were almost fighting for the win, and almost got the win on Simopets. Orioles in the very first half was looking strong with his alternative strategy, and then lost the car and lost the momentum, and also the motivation from what we can see. And then we have Shark, who was really close. Oh, and Simoped's 110.6, fastest lap overall, 2 seconds clear of his fastest lap before. And just a little fun fact that 110.6 will have put in P2 in the qualifying grid, because he set 110.1 that took him on pole, and the drivers who was second set Real Staravia set a 1:11.0. So with this fastest lap on track is 4/10 clear of the drivers in P2 rails that set 1:11.0 on qualifying. Amazing stop from Simopez. Will not risk, I guess, to go into the pit to put a set of softs just for fun, because the gap between him and Shark is 24 seconds, but Simopez has 9 seconds of penalty. So I think now he's gonna just control the race till the end, till 9 laps to go. I think before I did the wrong calculus, so there are still 9 laps to go. I wonder if D-Power will get lapped. I don't think so. I don't think he's gaining 1 second per lap on him. And even if I don't think that would be enough, we will see. Let's see if there are some fight. Yeah, is D-Power fighting with Mr. D-Bro, because Mr. D-Bro has gone for an interesting strategy, which is not to pit at all. So he's with a 43 laps old mediums, which is quite an interesting choice, and also a crazy one, because I don't think you can do 50 laps on the mediums. Some drivers didn't manage to do them on soft, so it might encounter a puncture that would put him at risk also for P5 to Real Staravia, while Nicholas has gone really close to Barks, 7/10 of a second. So let's see if Barks will let Nicholas go. Will let Nicholas by, I should say, or is he gonna fight for position? Knowing Barks, he will let him go, and in fact that's exactly what he does. True sportsmanship like. So Barks left Nicholas Boita past, while D-Power is not looking like he's having an easy time here with Mr. Dibber, because he's holding as much as he can, but there is a 30 laps difference. You can tell by D-Power onboard cam that Mr. Dibber is really skating on ice. Sorry, driving on ice, not skating. Let's also have a look of this beautiful broadcast view, where we can appreciate more the streets of Monaco. So 4/10 of a second dividing the two of them, not any penalty, which is quite crazy on this track. You may think that it's impossible to take a penalty because the track is so narrow, but especially in the third sector, but also in the second sector with the chicane. It's so easy to take a penalty in order to cut in the track to not lose the car, or because of tire wear. Also, turn 1 is deadly. I think it's where many drivers got their warnings. So the power is now really glued to the back of Mr. Debro. But with only 6 laps to go, and now we can see this fight from another point of view. In fact, we can see this fight from Simoped's point of view. The leader has now got closer to the power that got stuck into Mr. Debro. And now, is the Aston Martin drivers gonna try to be cheeky and overtake the Red Bull while they get lapped? It's also important not to get a penalty for ignoring blue flag. The Powers might try a move here in the first sector, but I don't think that's smart enough, so the Power lets Simopeds go. Ooh, and they've gone into each other. Let's see what is happening. So the Power moved to the right, and so did Mr. Debro. But now the Power doesn't have a front wing at all. He completely smashed into the back of the Red Bull, but he was fair not overtaking. Ooh, and he's gonna lose the suspension if he continued on this behave, and he completely lost his swing. And now this is a very important corner. You don't want to do it flat out, and in fact he brakes just enough, but this is gonna cost him crucially the position on his teammate Red Saravillo. So he tried to be cheeky, overtaking Mr. Debro in the end of the first sector in the braking zone to the right, but then he lost his front wing because Mr. Debro slowed down as well. But now you can tell the Power is gonna have a chance of a fastest lap with this brand new set of softs, even if he didn't set a 1:11 and qualifying. I don't think he will get below the 1:10.5 here in the race. While Traxler lapped himself from the Power. This is gonna counter this traffic very soon. And now Der Sherka has also lapped the Power. So the best theme is surely the Red Bull, who are gonna get the jump on the McLaren. Let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship while there are only three laps to go. Incredible. I really had fun in these last few laps. I can't say the same for the middle race. But let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship, because the McLaren started with 109 points this race and will end with 109 points. Double O for his drivers, because Warren is not driving, actually is AI. The Red Bull, very good amount of points in the bag, 14 plus 13, so 27 points, and they're gonna have an incredible lead over McLaren of about 22 points. Then Alpine, 91 points, are gonna score 10 and 9 points respectively, Nicholas and Barks. So they're gonna have 19 points and just going over 1 point over McLaren, so they will clinch P2 in the Constructor Championship. Then Ferrari, it was not the day of Ferraris, at least for Eisenberg, but it was a clean, very good race for Marcy in P9, who will manage to bring home 7 points for the team, while Mercedes with 83 points will get 16 points with Simopeds and 8 points with Truckster, so a fair amount of 24 points that will bring them 2 points behind McLaren's and 3 points behind Alpine. Then Aston Martin in P4 and P5 will get 12 and 11 points for a total of 23, will jump to 95 points, overtaking Ferrari, so a good step forward for this team that now see a real star of Io subbing for Lasdok. And then we have Williams, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri as a Lamborghini. I have to say that in this race I really like the movement driving style, because usually it's not one who is really consistent in racing, but today it really shows something else, and also it didn't get a single penalty in 77 laps and soon 78 laps. Yellow flag in sector 3, and in fact this moment, that's the commentator curse, as I was talking, but hopefully one retires, he will finish the race since there are only 2 laps to go. And Simopeds really looks like someone who was something to do, because he's pushing so hard even in this very last two laps. And now let's ride on board on the broadcast with nothing else, just Simopeds teaching us how to drive around Monaco. Beautiful cameras, even the helicopter camera, or maybe the drone, who knows. Very good cams here by the F1, game. And so we're heading into the very end of this round 6 of Division 1 with Simopeds, who is gonna bring it home after some hard moments. And now Simopeds wins the Monaco Grand Prix, and his second win in a row after he joined back, and it's also a 16 points game for Mercedes, and the Shark will be the second to cross the line, while Nicholas Boat and Barks both crossed because they got lapped, and so did Mr. Dibra. So we're waiting for the Shark, who was gonna clinch P2. Amazing effort from him, and now Deep Hover crossed the line. Very good result from the Aston Martin drivers, and in the end, last but not least, Truckster was gonna get P8 for the team, and then Marcy was at the chicane, just riding the third sector. He's gonna finish P9. So let's have a look also at position changing. Around here, Mr. Dibra amazing race, so did Marcy, so did Muman and Nicholas. I think Muman, Nicholas and Mr. Dibra are surely my top 2 drivers of today, as well as Simopez, because he completely dominated this race. I think it was... No, it wasn't a Grand Chelem, because Rails led some laps of this race. The game does say that Nicholas is the driver of the day. Let's enjoy the podium all together, with Simopets holding the trophy of first place for Mercedes and cheering with the 2 Red Bulls. So let's have a look at the hand of this race. So it's Simopets to Dorshark to Mr. Debro completing the podium. Big amount of points for the 2 Red Bulls. Then we have the 2 Aston Martin, Real Sarvillo and D-Power, the 2 Alpine in P6 and P7, and the Mercedes House Dragster. Only 4 teams in the top 8. I don't think we have ever seen this thing in this league. So amazing effort for these top 4 teams. Not including the McLaren, who is P2 in the Constructors' Championship. Amazing. Then we have Marcy, Muman, Warren, Vomax, Tibran, Snaggletooth, Juraco, Eisenberg, Zabijaka and Clay Racing. Finally, Potro and Jules. So that's it for round 6 of the UKSA's Dhaham Battle Racing League. This has been long and fun. I hope you'll see also the next race of Division 2. Don't miss that. You can watch that both from Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully it's gonna be the same for Division 1 in the near future. And we're gonna see you next week, same time with Monza. Don't miss. Have you all got a good night.